Welcome everybody to this week's episode of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, along with
Uncle Spoke.
uh, Fluke Dog. Damon's going to be joining us a little later, but welcome to this week's episode. We're glad to be in front of you guys. Hopefully, we'll have some good discussion. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit, even though the last month or so of Fridays it's been fire because we've been chopping it up with our guests and amongst ourselves about issues that's you know flowing through life, man. You know what I mean? We're seasoned young men, and I don't think that we don't get the opportunity to give our perspective enough unless it's angry, ultra conservative anger. You know what I'm saying? But the young guys, a lot of them have good heads on their shoulders, and then there's some guys who get on there who got scars and pain. You know what I mean? So we get a lot of that, and they get popular because I think Jaquari, um, we all have our bumpy journey, right? We have some bumps in our roads, right? And when somebody gets in front of us, because our phones and our laptops and desktops, that's our form of entertainment now. You know what I mean? Our televisions is auxiliary and it's streaming anyway. But you know, this is our contribution. I'm basically saying, so we could be heard. You know, and that's not a dig. That's not no you know feeling like I'm not being heard. No, I just think that I like the fact that we're in front of our audience, no matter how tall, I mean, how tall, how big our audience is, and just discussing things. So feel free in the comments. If you have anything in the comments, please let us know, and I'll make sure we put it on the screen and we'll chop it up. But with that being said, go to our YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. Um, like, share, and subscribe, and build and push our channel up, please. We just for the just for the hell of it, push us up, put us up in that office. But Jaquar, how you doing today, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I had a full day and got some things done. Showed my face where I needed to show it. But I definitely agree with you though, man. I've throughout this whole process, man, I really enjoy uh, this particular American freedom, man.
Yeah,
I mean, it's as restricted as it can be sometimes. I mean, but just having the space, man, to just come and unwind,
yeah,
unencumbered.
yeah,
You know what I mean? In the comfort of my own home, which is I like to do. I like to do a broadcast, around a group of people, man, in a different location at some point
I
in
would
time.
love that too, man. I
You
would
know,
love that too.
I really do enjoy this whole process, man. Really.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's been a journey for us. You know what I mean? Because in my last profession, I was a pseudo public speaker because I had to get before people and they had to understand what I was saying, how I was saying it, and what I meant. So once I hit my comfort zone here, and I'm not saying that the optics make it look like I'm comfortable, but I am comfortable. That's what I mean, and I enjoy it. You know.
It translates, man. It easily translates, you know. But yeah, when I'm especially when I'm talking to young folks, man, I emphasize the power that you receive through public speaking, man, and being in front of people. Hey, what's going on, bro?
Damon, what's up, brother?
What's going on, brothers?
So,
All right, all right.
it,
How y'all,
just
how
just
y'all be?
We good. We good.
As I was saying, man, being in front of people, man, and even if you can't fully express a thought or whatever, man, having the opportunity to do so,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's important. I mean, in people, in all of our lives, man, even if they don't say it, you know, they have an opinion about it. They
Of
have an
course.
opinion about it, because I had a conversation at work, about my little podcast, air quotes, little podcast. Hey, man, when the next time you doing your little podcast, my little
Yeah.
podcast, for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and people, I don't know. I've been thinking about getting an Instagram or something, man, because people ask me, man, I'm like, I don't have that.
Oh, you don't have answers? Okay. I
I don't
didn't
have
know
an
that.
Instagram. I don't have TikTok. I don't have any of that, man. And like a lot of younger guys I talk to, man, they tell me how just having this YouTube and Facebook, with what I fantasize about taking this or whatever, I'm kind of spinning my wheels,
Gotcha.
But
Gotcha.
I'm like, I mean, okay, I say something like, all right, well, set it up then. Well, so yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah, Damon, what we're talking about is the comfort level as we've been doing this podcast, the comfort level that we brought ourselves to. You know what I mean? Do you have any? Well, first of all, how was your day today? And then, do you have any comments on that?
Man, I slept wrong and my back is gone. I tried to loosen it up, man, so I could sit straight. But as far as comfort level, man, I'm on here with my brothers. I don't give a damn about anything else.
I got
You know what I'm saying? This is an opportunity and a time for me to spend time with y'all, man. So that's mainly why I do it, to be honest with
you. Yeah. Yeah.
I love to see y'all, man. And y'all got them John Amos noses and shit. I'm set up my shit all cute.
Hey, my nose is the same size it was. My nose is the same size it was when I was 12 years old. So that's what God gave me, and that's what it is.
It works. It works. I mean,
I kind of got robbed on the features, boy. I ain't got no nose, I ain't got no lips. I ain't like, goddamn, man. It's like, what I mean? Like,
listen, Rico Suave, you still a handsome guy. So what difference?
You look like a black man, and you talk like one too. That's all that matters.
I appreciate
but
it.
I'm gonna tell you the funny thing about it is, me and Jaquari, before we went live, me and Jaquari, I was telling Jaquari about, and we'll start off a little light. Now I want your opinion about this thing. First, I want to talk about Bam Adebayo, right? You know what I'm saying? Bam Adebayo. Now, my thing is, I was, when it comes to basketball, I'm a basketball guy. Let me just preface it for that. And understanding when you're on the NBA level, you're there for a reason. I played college basketball. I played basketball. I'm 61, so I played 45 years of my 61 years. But basketball, coached it for almost 20 years, right? So understanding the optics, because I was watching that game the other day. Bam started off hot from the beginning, right? And I just want to just lay this down and just my opinion about it. Then I want you guys to let me know. He got hot from the beginning. He was just hitting stuff. And I was sitting there and the announcers too, I was sitting there like, wow, okay, Bam, he's gonna get about 30 tonight. But then he kept going. You know what I'm saying? Now, by the end of the third quarter, he had 60. Now, me personally, if I'm his teammate or his coach, I'm like, curious on how far this man can go. And I'm going to do anything I can so he can get there,
Yep.
right? The one beautiful thing about talking basketball from the greats and all that is I started watching basketball in 70, 76, 70, 75, 76. So I experienced everything in real time. I'm talking about up to this moment. I experienced everything in real time. I'm not a young guy who never saw Jordan play. I saw him play. I'm not one of those guys who never saw Kareem play. I'm one of those guys who saw Magic play, Bird play. You know what I'm saying? Barkley. And I'm saying that to say that I've watched a lot of basketball, and people have those moments, right? Now, in all fairness, which is funny to me, chat live, what's going on, brother? Um, in all fairness, at the 8 minute mark, oh yeah, Miami was doing everything so Bam can get a chance to do what he got to do as a team, as a team. I woke up the next day instead of celebrate. I was looking for someone who celebrated this young man. I don't. Let me say, I didn't. That wasn't on cheering and all this, but I'm like, damn, that's a hell of an achievement, right? Because that was something that I saw. That was something that I saw that I've not. That was a first for me, right? So here's my thing. Why, if you're supposed to be impartial in the big stations, ESPN, NBC, CBS, and all these different folks, why are you minimizing something that this kid did? You know what I'm saying? Now, chat live. I saw you said 43 free throws ruined it for me. My thing is this: he was getting fouled. It wasn't like he was inventing stuff. He was actually getting fouled. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 43 free throws is a lot, but you know he earned them. People said, and I'm done with this. After this, people said that Washington laid down. Them guys are professionals. They're just a bad team. That was it. Toronto was a bad team at the time when Kobe had his 81. You know what I'm saying? When Wilt had his 100, New York was a horrible team. You know what I'm saying? So it just it just didn't sit well with me. Where instead of celebrating this man's accomplishment, right, who's always there, have never gotten in trouble, have never done anything but be on the straight and narrow, you're gonna minimize and especially the ones who got the biggest mouths. So who wants to go? Ja'Quari, Damon? It's up to you.
Here's what's crazy to me, man. Now, when you listen to the pundits talk, they want to make comparisons here and whether or not it was legitimate and all that stuff. Personal note, man, the highest I ever scored in college, man, was like 33 points. And I went into 3 overtimes. You know, I slept that following day, I slept the whole damn day, man.
Of course.
The whole day. You know what I'm saying? And had to prepare myself for the coming week's practice and all that. He playing against pros, man. I don't care how you decide how sorry they are or whatever. He was playing against pros. That's a milestone, man. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put it this way. Like my pop told you, I don't care if you playing against golden sheep herders, man. You scored 83 points, dog. Do you know the effort it took to do that? the focus that you had to have. How many times he went to the free throw line? You said 43.
Yeah,
How many of them
43
joints he
free
made?
throws.
How many of
I
them
think
joints he made?
was it 20, 26, something like that? Well,
26, man.
the number may be
In
off,
the
but
in the midst, whatever the number is, in the midst of playing against other pro players, no matter what your opinion of them is, you running up and down the court, you knocking down shots, and you going to the line and you hitting them joints. You earned them. You know what I'm saying? Anything above or beyond that, dare I say, you know what I'm saying? We got, okay, you got your Kobe supporters out there. You got them out there. They're going to have an opinion. But the one thing they can't take away from this man is the fact that he made the shots.
He did.
You know what I'm saying? He physically done it. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Do you know how difficult that is?
Oh yeah.
That requires focus and determination. You know what I'm saying? Question that. You know what I'm saying? Question that. I'm not going to speak on any certain to the madness, and I'm like, what are you talking about, man? You know what? You have all this opinion, and you never in your life been in that position before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What
And,
decision?
and I'm sorry, Damon. Let me just say this real quick. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, so Damon's not saying you shouldn't have one. But go ahead.
No, I'm not saying they should. I'm not saying they shouldn't have an opinion, but that don't mean I have to listen to your dumb ass. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you are a former athlete, being in on the collegiate level or the pro level or whatever, if you are that person and you are actually going through it, guess what? You know what that tells me? That the man is focused. That tells me that the man is in shape. That tells me that the man is determined.
Yeah.
So where do you get off questioning any of that? When he achieved the goal, he broke it. He actually did it. You can't give him his flowers for that. If you can't give this man his flowers for his effort and his focus, that says a whole lot about you. And like I said, I don't care if we're playing against Golden Sheeherds. You know what I'm saying? He did the work.
Yeah.
They need to step off with all that madness, man. That don't even make sense. Trying to create content off of a man's effort.
Yeah.
I could see if he was standing in. I could see if he was standing in the square for over 3 seconds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They were just dumping him the ball down there, and he was just standing there just lighting it up. I could see that.
Yeah.
Please, man. Sometimes, man. Nowadays, sometimes it's ridiculous.
Jaquari.
I think people fail to realize, man, that when you talk about elite athletes, man, I mean, it's a whole different stratosphere, man. I mean, it's like the layman rarely has anything to compare that to. You know what I mean? If you're an elite line worker, no hate, no hate or no shade on the line worker in a factory or whatever. I mean, you're still nowhere near that skill level.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, basketball players, when they get into the NBA, they specialize.
It's their profession. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean that's their job. They specialize. I mean, they're not expected to do everything. They're still expected to be pros and good at everything. Hell, Dennis Rodman. We talked about him before we came on. Dennis Rodman was leading scorer on his college squad, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't no hell of a scorer in the NBA. He specialized. But I'm quite sure the manner in which he grabbed them rebounds or whatever, he could have shot. Could have been shooting layups and scoring. Still, still pros, man. Respect to him.
Yeah.
I just hate that so many people jumped on the bandwagon of the naysayer bandwagon. But
For entertainment, man. It's
yeah,
like I said, you are entitled to your opinion. But when you throw emotion in it, you become a fan to me. So if we're just talking basketball, right? If we're just talking basketball, me personally, I talk basketball. You know what I'm saying? I talk basketball. But if you want to get into the emotion of fan thing, all right, tell me ahead of time. So I won't waste my time talking about certain things when I know that you're looking at through that lens. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the
you
difference
know,
the difference is though, man. I mean, you don't get a highlight, you don't get a highlight reel as a fan
Man,
ever
listen.
ever.
yeah.
Do you? This was crazy, man. Do you know what it takes to score that many damn points, man? I don't care if you're on
I
the
have
pickup
absolutely
game,
no
bro.
idea.
No, that is crazy to me. And I'm
I
about
don't
look,
care.
damn it, we've been playing basketball all our lives. But I'm like, that is a hell of a lot of shots. And just look, 43 free throw attempts. Yeah, I get that. But you had to get fouled a number of times
Exactly.
to
Exactly.
shoot 43 shots. So that's damage to your body, or at least your arms if they ticky tack fouls. But my point is, it's contact. It is what it is. And understand something. I'm not caping for Bam. I'm proud that in his career, and I'm gonna read this after I say this. He has something because he's going to be a perennial all-star. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's going to be unless it's something drastically happens. He's not going to be in the Hall of Fame, the Basketball Hall of Fame. Naismith, right? And I'm not saying that's against him. I'm just saying the way his career is he's a great professional basketball player, right? But he has this one thing, and you want to piss on it, right? Now let me read this. Chat Live Matter, and I want to read it because it's funny but true at the same time. I've been waiting for Bam to get in this killer instinct his whole career. I think his girlfriend is rubbing off on him. She is the MVP of the WNBA. You know what I'm saying? Asia Wilson.
It might
And
be the case.
that's the funny thing about it is Bam said that Asia was upset. She was out of town. She was upset because he scored his 10,000 point, right? And she wasn't there. You know what I mean? So deep down, now I know he wasn't predicting 81 points, but he said, you know what, baby, you in town. I ain't seen you in a minute. Let me put on the show for you.
You say this guy scored 10,000 points in the NBA, man?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Come on, man. He's
I mean,
productive, bro.
yeah.
He matters. You know what I'm saying? And his team, I credit the team. They got behind him.
Mm-hmm.
They got behind him. And I'm sure it's some cats that was on the floor who had to average at least 5 rebounds to keep a job. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's just talk about the ins and outs of it, man. It's people that get on that floor who has to get their numbers in order to stay on the damn team,
Yeah.
right? And they were supporting him. Leave the man alone. He did his thing, and he in the record books.
And it's a job, man. Even though it's our entertainment, right? It's their job. So you gotta be good at your job, man. You really do.
When they said when I first heard it, I was like, man, he played the whole game grinding. He didn't skip a beat. He was focused. You know what I'm saying? That's a hell of a feat right there, man.
Okay, now chat live matter. This is you raise a good point. You say he averages six free throws a game, right? Come on now, 43. Now it's not treason to talk about the details. See, we're not we're not excluded because I know I've said it and I know Damon Jacquari said something, or at least me and Damon said something about the 43 free throws. Of course, that's a lot of free throws. But the thing about it is, his teammates were feeding him the ball, and he was going for it. I mean, I'm not trying to minimize because the last. I'm gonna tell you what. If I had a critique, right, the last 7 minutes of the game, I couldn't watch. To be honest with you, I was happy that he ended up doing what he was doing, but you know, I would rather have been in the flow of the game that he did it. But it's not like they gave it to him. What they was doing, they was being strategic. They was fouling Washington so he can have more chances to do what? To score. That's
You know what's crazy?
his teammates was behind him.
You know what's crazy, big dog?
What's up?
What if he was 5 for 26?
Yeah.
What if during the course of the game he was 5 for 26? You think they would have been feeding the ball, man?
Nope. Nope. No. I mean, because everybody who
They
watched
was
it,
feeding.
seriously, he had 30 in the first quarter. Nobody complained about him having 30 in the first quarter. You know what I'm saying? So, and like I said, man, I'm not caping for this situation and all this. I'm happy for Bam. I mean, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for any man who works hard and they achieve some stuff. That's just how I am. You know what I mean?
You know, I don't watch sports matches, man. So I didn't even see the game. I mean,
You said sports matches. He's a funny dude, man.
but I'm just saying. I mean, just to even hear about it, man. I'm like, wow, that's pretty crazy.
Hey, I'm going to address this one time, and then me personally, chat, chat live matter said, let's talk basketball for real. If you was the opposing coach, what would you have done? What kind of defense was Bam facing? See, they were playing man to man, and whoever was guarding Bam couldn't stay with him because Bam was too aggressive. If I was opposing coach, I would have went into a zone. So if he was going to hit the shots, what was it, 7 for 22 or something from the three? He would have had to beat me. He would have had to score from like that. You know what I mean? If I don't think they saw him as a legitimate threat like that night. You know what I mean? Because like I said, they played a man to man the whole night. You know,
I want to know who was guarding. I hope it was several people.
it was several people,
Okay.
but they didn't do a good job because you think about after the first quarter, just NBA wise and knowing Bam, you thinking Bam is done. You know what I mean? You thinking Bam is done. Look and see, you know what? Chat live. I'm gonna throw this up here, and I'm gonna let you. I'm just Jaquari. He said, "Come on, bro. You know that was WWE, NBA marketing. No way a pro coach would keep playing him man to man." So everybody was on the chat live. So you feel everybody was in on the conspiracy?
They switched up the AI at halftime. I mean,
I
it's
get,
people say that, man. That's I've been seeing that opinion, in heavy rotation, for a while now, man, about the NBA being fixed and everything. And I've even heard people saying that it's a dying thing. I, I don't believe that. I don't necessarily believe that. But I will say that the reason why I'm part of the reason why people might have that opinion, man, because I just don't, I don't know anybody in basketball anymore. You know, I don't know.
No, I mean, I get it because we are a very our nation, we are very. It's easy to be paranoid because we've been lied for so much in our individual lifetime. We've been lied to so much by the government or half truths or whatever's going on, so the peace can be kept.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So when it comes to paranoia and all these different things, that's cool. My thing is this: are you entertained? The only people who see conspiracies are the ones who are on the losing side. You know what I mean? My thing is, it might be fixed, but how much do you really care? Do you stop watching? Some people do, but do you stop watching? You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to sound too cynical, but I mean that's how I feel, man. It's like, bro, turn it off.
Everything is
Turn it off.
relegated. I mean, everything is relegated to a spectator sport, man. I mean, the purity of the game, man. Is the purity was lost a long time ago. And I think that's what drove me to kind of divest from it because it was definitely, man, it was definitely a conscious decision for me to kind of ease back on basketball, because even though I wasn't that good at it, I used to live in I kind of used to live and breathe it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ever since there stopped being a true center, I don't have I stopped having use for the game. Somebody to just go down and grab rebounds and post up, because that's what I did. That's what I tried to do. I don't see anybody that relates to my game anymore. I had no, if I had the ball at half court, you know the shit was about to hit the fan. I had no business dribbling the ball. That wasn't my job.
Hmm.
It wasn't my job to dribble the ball. So shit. I never practiced that. But
Right.
you got to give kudos to the dudes that did. You know, uh, Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk Nowitzki is a 7-footer with a perimeter game. That's unheard of, man. I would have had to punch that guy. So
Yeah, but you're a violent person. I think
sometimes.
I put this on the screen chat. You said, okay, so if any opinion other than your opinion is treason, that you mean you don't really want to talk about it. I don't. Speaking from my point of view, I don't think somebody's different opinion is wrong. I'm just stating mine. You know what I'm saying? Like this is how I feel. This is how I see it. Now I'm not gonna sit up there and point at somebody, another man, and say, "Hey, man," unless it's a ludicrous thing, right? Saying that there's aliens playing in the NBA disguised as basketball players, then I'm gonna look at you like, man, what the hell is you talking about? But if you just give me your opinion, I'm going to make a comment about your opinion, but I'm not going to dismiss it. See, that's what people do. They dismiss other people's opinion, especially when it comes to this entertainment thing. And I think that's wrong. But I want to hear, he said, bro, who's talking about aliens? That's an example, man. This is exactly what I was saying. This is what I'm talking about. Now, I know, hey Chad, I know you want to preserve Kobe's record. It's still preserved because they are ignoring Bam's record. I just said that me personally, I was happy for him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just happy for him.
You want to know what's crazy to me, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Here's what's crazy to me. In my career, man, I played against pros more than a few times. And you want to know the one thing that I noticed more at the top of my shape. I noticed is that it was a struggle to keep up with them brothers, man. Let alone get into my bag and show and display my skills. Just running up and down the court was difficult. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when I thought to myself, man, these cats have to be, the best athletes in the world, man, because just keep trying to keep up with them is a task and a struggle. You know what I'm saying? Let alone do your thing. Let alone focus on scoring. Let alone playing on defense. Just try to be a garbage man and grab a rebound. You know what I'm saying? And and staying at the back end, watching them run down the court, and somebody's fire up a jumper. You know what I'm saying? And they're on their way back. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I ain't in no shape, man. Can't be. Because just running, scrimmage, pickup is difficult. Now on the professional level, that's a whole other thing. Give that man his flowers. Give that man his respect, man. You know what I'm saying? To be able to maintain that pace, score, play defense, you know what I'm saying, and accomplish what you accomplished, that's a hell of a thing, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Unless you've been in that experience, and like I said, in my limited action, being on the court with them cats, just running up and down the floor with them, man, was a struggle for me. You know what I'm saying? I grabbed my 5 rebounds, but that's all I could give. You know what I'm saying? And that was it. You know what I'm saying? They wanted me to do my thing, but I passed it off. I'm like, man, imagine somebody pass you the ball. You got the ball in one hand, the other hand on your knee. Looking for somebody to pass it to. You know what I'm saying? Talking from experience, man. I don't want to hear all that madness. You got to be in top shape. You had to be focused. You had to be skilled. There's a reason why you there.
Yeah. And look, I put this on the screen, chat, because it wasn't an accusation. I didn't accuse you of being a Kobe fan. I assumed that you were because you brought him into the discussion. You know what I'm saying? So it has nothing to do with making you a fan or this and that. Yeah, I was there in real time. I saw every player that we're talking about today. I saw them play in real time, all the way back into when Dr. J first went to the 76ers. I saw it in real time. So when I speak about stuff, it has nothing. I don't throw no, and I'm not saying this, so I don't want you to put in the comments. I don't throw emotion in the discussion. I don't. I just chop it up, and that's what you've been hearing me say. I'm chopping it up with you.
And we not here to defend that. We're not here to defend that, man. This is this we didn't the horse is dead, man. We got to move on from this. It's nothing new being said, man.
But look, great comments, chat. I just wanted to straighten that out because you didn't want me to assume something about you, and I didn't want to assume anything. I don't want you to assume anything about me. Um, I don't want to. If we can do this quickly, I'm good. But I want you guys' opinion about this. Me personally, when I talk sports, I talk about sports only, unless it's the Lions, unless it's the Detroit Lions, because I've been cheering for them for so long. My emotions automatically go into it, right? So when I talk about the Lions, I speak from emotions because they've never been to the Super Bowl. When I talk about the Pistons, I'm talking about basketball. When I talk about the Detroit Tigers, I'm talking about baseball. Red Wings, hockey. I'm talking about the actual sport. So I'm being realistic. I'm not going to throw no sauce on it. And there's nothing wrong with throwing sauce on it. There's nothing wrong with having the emotions about your team. But let me ask you a question. Do we go down the rabbit hole when we throw too much emotion into cheering for our squad? And we can touch on that quickly, and then we can move on.
I think we do, man. I mean, it's our favorite squad, man, is an emotional point for us. I mean, that rah rah rah, sis boom bye. That's just what it is.
Hmm.
You know, and when you try to put the extra stank on it, I mean, you trying to win. That's why you run into a lot of conversations about a particular thing, and next thing you know, you're talking about a salary cap, you're talking about money. Money's got absolutely nothing to do with field play.
And that's it. That's. I'm glad you brought that up because I really don't like it when people and it's throwing emotions in there when you talk about how much somebody getting paid and they not playing worth their salary. You know what I mean? I think that's it's my opinion. If you differ, that's cool. But I think you're getting emotional when you say, man, he got this $40 million contract. He playing like dirt. No, he just playing like dirt. It has nothing to do with the money he getting. Now, no, I take it back. He might have relaxed and taken it easy because he got this money, right? But his play is still horrible no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Would we magnify Would we magnify it if he wasn't getting paid that much money? Or would we say, man, oh my God, he's playing terrible?
Could you imagine, man, if somebody came on your job and was criticizing you about what you was doing? Like, hey, man, look, I'm paying you $3.75 an hour, man. You supposed to be a better grade picker than that. What?
Yeah,
This is my job.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
their job. I mean, they get paid, an astronomical amount of money. Yeah, I mean, but you more than likely throughout your career, you're not going to be at the top of your game for your whole career.
Hmm.
I mean, elite status in anything, man, it's just on another level.
Yeah.
So that's like I said, that's one thing the layman is who's hardly experienced things at a high level, man, just fail to realize. I mean, and I don't see it. I don't see any changes coming.
I mean, it's. I think what we'll do in the next couple of weeks or so, we'll do all sports thing, and then we'll really and truly dig in deep about this. And I'm not talking about the salary cap and all of that. I mean, that's cool that you know that and all this. I'm talking about the individual players because you know what? I don't care how much somebody's making. If I'm cheering for you, I'm caring about how you are playing because that affects how I feel. You know what I'm saying? All right, well, look, we're going to change it up a little bit. So, if you had an opportunity to sponsor a family, and when I say change it up, this is what I'm doing to sponsor a family, especially if you have it, right? If you have the bread to sponsor a family in which the children say if the both parents are working but they're not quite getting there or a single parent household and the bills are getting paid but the extra stuff for the children if the children in the house or things like that, right? if you had the opportunity to sponsor a family so they can pick that up, they can pick that up so the kids can eat and be comfortable and do the things they need to do. Would you do it?
Shit, yeah. I mean, if all I had to do was just pay for entertainment and food and shit like that, and didn't have to, yeah, man. Why
Okay.
not take why not take an opportunity, man, to give a child a doggone Rockwellian childhood? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that shit, yeah. Everything that I wish I had as a child, man, I would definitely be about, you know, giving it to somebody else. You know, man. Shit, where'd you go?
I'm
Yeah,
still here, man.
I definitely take that opportunity, man.
Yeah.
If
I mean,
if all I had to do was pay for fun shit, yeah,
you said fun shit.
yeah. You know, we're gonna eat and play
Okay.
Monopoly and shit, and probably go. Yeah, I pay for that.
The reason why I ask because I sit around and my previous occupation and being around teachers and all these different things, you hear stories of young men and young women who who parents are trying,
Mm.
right? And they're trying, but they're not quite getting it. But if there's some kind of situation where you can contribute to it to help them, I was just curious about what you guys' thoughts were on doing it. I would gladly do it. First of all, I would make sure that my family is not struggling like that first. I mean, my immediate and my extended family
Mm.
is not struggling like that when it came to friends. So once I know they're good, right, definitely I would want to share more. You feel me? I would want to share more because the thing about it is when it comes to children, man, if you give them if you give them good moments and opportunities, it it pays in the long run
Yeah,
because you're planting seeds of lack of a better word, just planting seeds of good and hope. That
yeah.
goes a long way when it comes to children, man.
Ambition, planning.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, you could just because what if you do something good or whatever, man, and there's a total mindset in the child or whatever, and they start thinking about, well, how can I have this life?
yeah, yeah.
How can I position myself to where I won't have to worry about certain things, and if I have extra, I can do this for somebody that's coming behind me. And
No,
I wouldn't necessarily call that charity, man. That's just
no, it's not charity.
that's
It's
that's that's I think that's paying it forward, man. I mean,
yeah.
every opportunity I get, man, I consciously try to do that for real, for real.
I mean, and I don't want people to know that I'm doing it. See, that's another thing because I think personally, I don't want you to know. I don't want the world, the optics. That's what it is, the optics. Like it always bothered me, right? When say you look on Facebook, whatever social media site, right? And somebody is recording or being recorded, giving somebody charity, handing them food, right? Now I'm sure they think in their minds that they think in their minds that I'm good doing a good thing and I want people to see me doing a good thing. I believe that. I believe that, bro. I really and truly believe that. I think it's
All
a
right,
good thing.
all right.
I think it's a good thing for other people to see you do these things, right? But to a point, I don't know, man. Don't get me wrong, because really and truly, it's heartwarming to see somebody help other people.
I
You know
said
what
it.
I'm saying?
I said it once before, man. I'll say it again. You know, I don't shit. I don't care what the giver's attitude is. I don't care if
Yeah.
they're trying to grandstand, man. If they're feeling a particular need, then so be it. So be
Hmm.
it, man. I mean, pride is a crazy thing, man. It's a crazy thing, man.
It is. So, Damon, did you hear the question when I said, if you had
No,
the
I didn't. I ain't hear it.
okay,
Run it back.
if you had the opportunity to sponsor a family, children, as far as food, maybe clothing, or whatever necessity they need, a working family, just to help them get a leg up, would you do it?
My apologies, fellas.
Oh,
Can you hear us?
I thought you froze.
Can you hear us?
Keep going in and out, man. I'm not hearing the question. I want to answer it, really, but I'm only getting
Oh,
like parts of it. I'm not hearing the whole question in this entire,
okay.
and I'm trying not to be show my express how I truly feel
Let,
right
let, let,
now.
let, let me know if you hear me for 5 seconds. I'll get you the question to you in 5 seconds. Can you hear me?
I can hear you with your.
Okay, okay. Oh, don't say no more. Would you give to other families?
Let me try something different. I'll be back.
Hold on. All right. Let me do this for you, Damon, because this makes sense. Because
You gonna put it up on the screen again?
yeah,
That's the question. Yes, absolutely,
why?
absolutely. I would definitely give to other families. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you see a rising star, when you see something in the, I would absolutely figure out how to be somebody positive in their life. You know what I'm saying? Especially as it pertains to what they're trying to be. You know what I'm saying? I would support them, you know, the best way I could. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't take anything, man, to support somebody. You know, financially, something totally different. Just
Okay.
by words, absolutely. I would definitely support other people in different families. You know what I'm saying? People that's not family, friends. You know, uh, especially if you being sought out. You know what I'm saying? If a person sought out your wisdom and say, "Hey, I saw you do this. Can you support child or my friend in this situation?" Absolutely. Because you got to think about it, man. How many times, man, have you sat around wishing that you had the support that you felt you deserved and it didn't come, and you gained wisdom from it,
Mm-hmm.
without animus,
Mhm.
you know. So I would definitely support people outside of my immediate family. Absolutely.
So what does the chat think? Put give us your opinion, chat, and we'll put you on the screen. You know, make sure you put it because we want to put it up. Lawrence, Malika, chat live, everybody. You know, because I think this is a very important uh, topic to talk about.
I agree.
Um, all right, well then let's segue into this. Do the wealthy have an obligation to help the poor? Now, this is loosely now. This is not socialist uh, propaganda, but I'm saying, in your opinion, when the wealthy works hard for what they've done, do you think it's an obligation or a willingness to give to the poor?
You know, the wealthy, I mean, they understand that you don't stay wealthy by giving money away without a return on the investment. So they're not going to give you anything. They're going to invest, and if they don't see anything happening with that investment, they're going to be a little more shy with their money. I get that. I understand that. I don't believe that the elite have any obligation, to help poor people. I think the biggest help they can be to poor people is not to get in the way. I mean, you got, I don't know how many families or air quotes this cabal or whatever in the world or whatever of only a few people, a few families or whatever who are getting all the money. It's gotten to the place where hard copy currency is no good anymore. I mean, it's. Have you seen the value of the value of the American dollar lately? I mean, it means almost nothing. I mean, I don't know, man. If I don't know. It takes so much, man, to be wealthy like that. Hell, if they took some time to come to the communities or whatever and teach people, how to get to where they are, that'd be payment enough right there.
Yeah. I, I Damon, what do you think?
You
Damon, what
asking
you
me?
think? Yeah, I'm asking you.
This is my opinion, man. Unless you hit the lottery or the Powerball or whatever, no, you can hold on to that. Hey, man, out of luck, I gained this wealth or whatever, and this to be arrogant about it, whatever. But if you built your wealth on being dependent on society to help you build it, then what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? What are you allowing your ego to take you? Hey, man, I built this wealth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, a lot of products, but I built it myself. I came up with the concept. But did you do it alone? Not really. You know what I'm saying? Somebody had to support you in that aspect. You have a short memory. You really do it by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand that there are a lot of people that supported me in this situation for me to be on this level. I mean, that's just given. That's just how it goes. Do you lose your soul because money became your God and you forgot where you came from? You have to balance that out and judge that for your own self. You know what I'm saying? And for me, that's what it is. I mean, you can't forget. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you was a knucklehead and somebody put you on the right path. You know what I'm saying? About giving back, isn't it? Somebody recognized your talents and supported you, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it
But
is.
Malika said it's a limit, though. I put it on the screen. What's your opinion about that? It's a limit, Damon.
The limitation comes from what? You being tired, you being tired of being taken advantage of. That's understandable. I mean, everybody gets that, you know. But just because one group is trying to take advantage doesn't mean there's another group that is looking for support, that's looking to be seen and heard, who also have ideas and all of those things that come with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just one of those people, man, where I realized that I could count all that supported me when people gave up on me. You know what I'm saying? Do I fall back to, you know what? Nobody looked out for me. If I took on that attitude, that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? And you got to figure out how to differentiate between the two. That requires effort. You know what I'm saying? And that requires compassion. You know what I'm saying? Even when you even felt that people were compassionate towards you. But you know what I'm saying? That's because your focus is on the wrong.
Okay. Jaquar, you have a follow up?
No, I pretty much said what I needed to say, man. You know, it's like I do agree with Malika though, man. I mean, it has a shelf life. It definitely has a shelf life. I mean, whatever motivates you to decide to to cut something off, hopefully it doesn't come from a place of malice, but even if you got billions, you can't save the world. You can't.
That's true. That's true. I think that um, it all depends on the person and how much they want to give. You know what I mean? I don't know because, like I said, we talk about if a man, how does this man or this woman make their wealth? I think that matters to a point, to a certain point, because the real part of it is this: when you're thinking about how much you can stand, then you shouldn't be thinking about giving it all. You know what I'm saying? No, no, I take that back. That's wrong. If you're thinking about, you can't think, bro. If you're gonna give, you're gonna give, man. I mean, and if you don't, I'm not gonna fault you unless what you can give is going to save somebody's life. I know that's a selfish way of thinking on my part. You know what I'm saying? But if what you're going to give is going to save somebody's life or make their life comfortable, I think you should give it. But if you have a problem with it and you're struggling with giving it, right? I would love for you to do it if I'm a part of that situation. I would love for you to do it. But I can't look at you at a different way. But I do know I can't depend on you.
But there's people who do though. It's people who will look at that person a different way though. I mean, no matter how many times they may have stepped up in the past, especially if you notice, if this is a, a one-on-one scenario and you come to somebody, not necessarily with your hat in your hand, but you have a need that you definitely know they had the resources to fill or whatever, and they turn you down. That's not necessarily a reason to say that this person's character is flawed either.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think that you could be doing all the good in the world, but somebody's gonna find something wrong with what you're doing. So I don't think you should give so people can look at you differently. I think you should give because it's about your heart, about who you are. Period. You know what I mean? And that sounds one-sided. So I'm not saying that I'm completely right. It's just the way my lens looks at it. You know what I'm saying? That's all. Now, if I question why you're doing something, right? As long as you're doing it, that's a fleeting question. That's a fleeting thing in my heart. It's like, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna say, oh man, he did a good thing. But that motherfucker didn't want to do it. No, man,
The
no,
money,
he did it.
the
She
money,
did it. You
the money,
know?
the money don't care where it came from or the attitude that brought it.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
care.
It's given. You know what I'm saying? And I look, the one thing that I'm happy about is that every conclusion that I come to that I think is right, I'm gonna stand by it. But I also put that caveat in that sometimes, no matter how right I think I am, I might be wrong. You know what I'm saying? I might be wrong. But I'm gonna stand by what I feel until someone changes my mind. I'm always open for that, basically.
Hey Keith, really quick, man. You've been following the whole Mr. Tenderism thing and everything, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, check it out. Flabbergastery. That's gonna be mine. I just got to figure out, what I'm gonna cook to put it on or whatever. But flabbergastery. Y'all taste the flabbergastery in this shit?
No, no,
What?
man.
Why?
Drawing board, brother. Drawing board.
What?
Oh, so you saying that flabbergasted by
Flabbergastery.
what you
Yeah,
cook?
yeah. It's just as good as tenderism.
No, you know what tenderism is because of his action, right?
Man, look,
Well, you know what? You know what? Maybe whatever you cook and you grab your mouth, flabbergastery. That worked
I,
for you, dog.
yeah, yeah. I was thinking about using some butter and crackers.
Butter and crackers. Boy, that saved
When
my
last
life, boy.
when last time you had some butter and crackers, man?
Recently, man. Hey, that
For
was a
real?
staple when I was a bachelor.
Hmm.
Malika Malika says, imagine this. You have all the wealth and everyone else only has enough for their bare minimum. You go on vacation and no one is there but the service staff. How is that vacation experience? You're at the bar alone, you're at the beach alone, you're on tour alone. Doesn't sound fun. She said it doesn't sound fun to her.
Well, I mean, shit.
Look,
Look, if I
so
had the,
so 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 Malika, you need the people.
I get it. I get it. I get it. But see, if I had the money to make that so where I could just have all the shit to myself, I tried a couple of times. Shit, yeah, of course. Hmm. Shit. Flabbergastery. I think it'll work.
I'm sorry, Jaquari. Every time Damon blanks out, he knocks me off. So I gotta go out and come back in. I'm sorry, chat. But Lauren says sounds like you're about to get robbed. But okay. You know what, man? This is why this is a good discussion because I love to hear other people's opinion. Because what I learned as a child, just by our parents' upbringing and the teachers and people I went through in life, is you can always listen to someone. You don't always have to follow their advice, but you at least have to listen and consider what they're saying, even if you don't agree with them.
Is
You
that
know what I'm
necessary?
saying?
You think that's necessary?
I think so
Why?
because what it does for me, it covers all the bases.
Is that the point though? I don't think the point is to have. Well, for me, that's not the point. Is to have all the bases covered, man. I mean,
I don't like being wrong though. That's my, you know what I'm saying?
I
That's
can stand
where
it.
it's coming.
I can stand it because I've been wrong before, and and quite funnily enough, Keith, I refuse to change my opinion. Fuck it. Sometimes you got to stand on the island, man.
I mean,
Even if the motherfucker's second.
with some things, yes, but if you fighting a battle that you know is wrong, but you still standing on it, that man,
Have,
whew.
have, have you ever had a conversation, man, where you know you was wrong, but you just wanted to see how eloquently you could present the goddamn argument?
When I was younger, not when I was older, when I was making money and trying to live, no,
Well, why'd you stop? I mean, look, I, I,
because I was making money trying to live.
I never,
That's
yeah,
why.
I won't do it with that, with that kind of shit, my livelihood or whatever, But in the personal conversations, yeah, I play devil's advocate all day. I enjoy
Even
it.
though even though I could be an asshole, right? I don't like being one if I don't have to be.
I didn't say anything about being an asshole. I mean, that's just,
Well, that's asshole behavior, Jacor.
how,
I'm sorry.
how,
Okay. You just said that you would argue even though you know you're right. You're wrong.
yeah.
That's not asshole behavior.
No, asshole behavior is not admitting that shit. You know how many people you come in contact with every day who do that exact same shit and know they're doing it but won't admit it.
You're right.
There's
You're right.
there I mean there's merit to it, man. I mean, just being able to joust back and forth mentally, man. I mean, it keeps me on my toes.
I get it. I get it. So Damon, you with us? Can you hear us? Did he
It looked like
freeze?
he probably did.
Let me put this on this next one. You with us, Damon?
Yeah, I can see this.
Okay. What's your opinion on the statement that black folks wake up playing defense every day, and we are never on the opposite side of the ball? I saw this to give you some backdrop. I saw this, and it was a discussion, and this brother said this, and this is how he felt. Older gentleman, and I was curious to bring it here for the comments, you guys and the folks in the comments, and what you guys think.
Well, I mean, when I read this question, man, I kind of struggled with it because for the life of me, man, I'm not dooming and glooming or anything like that, man. But for the life of me, man, I couldn't get a distinct picture of what the offensive side of the ball looked like,
Okay.
and I couldn't imagine, the person who could. I mean, like shit, you're supposed to wake up and worry about certain shit daily. You have to you
What?
have to you have to consider, the state of the world every day in your place in it. You have to.
I get that. I got stuck on what you said, worry. Explain that further. What do you mean by worry?
Uh, just in regards to like mapping your movements for the day, planning your day, man, trying to figure out, how to keep your head above water, going to
Okay.
work. That's going to work, on time every day is a decision. It's a decision that people make every single day, and could you imagine being in a state where you didn't have to worry about that? I couldn't, no, I mean, for a long time, man. You know, since I was a little kid, man. Every day I wake up in the morning, man. I think about how I'm gonna push my life forward. You know, and I don't consider that to be defense. You know, that's just a state of life. You know, stagnate. You know, stagnant things die.
Gotcha. Damon, what you think?
I think, man, in terms of preparation, man, you have to be on the defense, especially being a black person in this country, man, in this world. But stay there. I'm saying, because at the end of the day, man, what you have to recognize is that you got some people coming behind you that you have to be an example for. Do you want them to see your anger and your angst, disappointment, or do you become an inspiration for them? How to overcome, how to see. I mean, how do you want them to see you? As this better person who just think the world is against you, or as somebody teach you survival? It shows you that, you know what, you can find happiness in your own situation that has nothing to do with what the world brings you. You know what I'm saying? Do you allow the world to dictate who you are, to raise your family, or all that? You know what I'm saying? You have to take that in consideration. Be bitter and angry and be responsive to that anger, or do you want to, you know, show perseverance? You know, it all depends on what you're inspired by.
I think, man, showing your frustration to the people who are coming behind you, man. I think it serves a purpose, man. I mean, you know, just to convey the message, man, that this shit is hard because it's supposed to be. It's hard because it's supposed to be, man. And you know, you got to be like a shark in your life. You always got to be moving. Always got to be moving. Always got to be planning. You know, when you get to the point where you're not doing that anymore, then you either become very prosperous or you know, you're dead. So yeah, I mean, I want my kids to hear me complaining about the bills and shit that, you know, that I'm paying while we sit around the dinner table, you know, about to eat some oxtails and go and watch Netflix later. Yeah. So they understand, you know, the value of the life that we have, the value of the things that, you know, as parents and as a family that we're able to provide them. Because I mean, that's the blueprint right there. I mean, we grew up with parents who were ambitious. They wanted stuff and they talked about it, you know, and they expressed their frustrations in regards to, you know, the workplace and in regards to the world and everything. You know, and I think that's one of the major parts of our childhood, man, that helped us develop into the men that we are today.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I've long since given up sugarcoating in my parenting style, man. Seriously, I mean, that's like, wow. I mean, because I fell victim to a bunch of shit, man. That, you know, not necessarily that I didn't get the right message on, man. But I, you know, like marriage, man. I told you, my whole idea of marriage was totally wrong, and you know, there's a lot of stuff that I had to correct from the beginning that I didn't even know I had to correct. Now, in regards to life, man, the same scenario could be, you know, played out. You know, I mean, that shit. I didn't imagine all the turmoil and stress or whatever. You know, I could experience at my job, and for it to get to the point where uh, uh, my job is important. My job has become just as important as my home life. Where do they do that?
Mhm.
And it's
I
not.
feel it.
Your
I feel
job
it.
is not as important as your home life is, even though that is your source of livelihood. But you know, there are several sources of livelihood in the world, and you don't have to be in that one place where you know you're gonna get kicked in the ass. So you have a choice.
Yeah, but choices are consequences, though. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, but
you
not
have
all.
to maintain a level head, man, with understanding of how to make your family and yourself move forward. You know what I'm saying? Is it on somebody dictating shit to you? Or you say, you know what? We have to be level headed about this. We have to think about it in this aspect. Okay, we know this roadblock is here. How to overcome it without losing our stride? I'm saying you have to constantly think about that. In my own humble opinion. Now I can barely hear y'all guys, so I hope I'm on the same track as y'all.
Yeah, you're on the same track. But
You're on the same track.
let me ask you this though: what happens if and when you lose your stride? What do? Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I mean, we do everything we can to prepare ourselves for the time when we go to the land of milk and honey or whatever. But we milk and honey, the land of milk and honey is the reward. I mean, rarely do we speak to the work that it takes to get there, and that's where life is lived, man. That from point A to point B, between point A and point B, that's where our development occurs.
Yeah. I mean, to both your points is this, man. I think it's definitely the view that you take as you're living. Like Jaquar, you said between point A and point B. That's where we live at. That's where we live at. But some of us try to concentrate on point B and point B only. You know what I mean? And sometimes it works out for people, but a lot of times people become disillusioned once they get to point B because they look back and see everything that they missed. I think it's a fine line. It's a fine line that you got to deal with once you, as you're living. You know what I mean? This is why I try to laugh throughout my day, find something humorous because what it does is number one, it makes me feel good. Number two, it takes the edge off whatever I'm going through. Laughter is a good thing. You know what I mean?
Life,
You
man.
Yeah,
Life is
by the
like a
same token,
it's like a track meet, though, man. You can't be a hurdler and just focus on the finish line, man, because you got 7, 8 hurdles in the way that you got to figure out how to navigate.
yeah,
it, it, here's what's crazy, man. I was with my grandbaby today, and we were going through uh, YouTube, and she was reading all the captions. 4 years old, she was reading all the captions, sounding out the words, all this stuff. The first thing popped in my mind, I said, man, this shit is amazing, man. This is a gifted child, and so on and so forth, right? And I felt proud about that. And I was just writing down words and picking out words for her to sound out and shit. And then I realized something, man. Do you know, and this is something that's really personal and true to my heart, it's personal, that first of all, she's a miracle baby. She's a miracle baby. And when my daughter got pregnant, man, we were all overjoyed and was happy about that. And I was like, wow, man, this is blessings from God. And then when it was time to have her, they both almost died. You know what I'm saying? They both almost died. So when I was sitting there with my grandbaby and I was looking at the things that she was doing on her own volition, learning, understanding, growing, and I said, man, I'm here for a reason. I'm here for a reason. So outside of that, I don't give a damn about none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just happy to be where I'm at, to understand, recognize, and cherish this miracle. You know what I'm saying? So what is the world telling me? Not a damn thing, because this is my inner circle and my world. And my only job is to be there and give my level best and share my knowledge and love and support. So what do I give a damn about the world? What do I care?
That's a choice that
You know what I'm saying?
that's a choice we can make. Yeah, you're right. I agree with that.
I mean, I just have that because you have all these different things coming at you, and you try to figure out where you fit. When sometimes God gives you a situation where you do absolutely fit, and you have to take advantage of that as best you can. And that's your job. That's who you are, and that's your purpose. And I'm just glad I'm in the position where I can do that. And I don't think about it no further than that, bro.
And you taught yourself to be that way because you understood the life that you led and you understood what makes you happy and what you appreciate. And I'm not trying to summarize your own thing. I'm just telling you what I'm receiving from you. Um, Keith Dion said,
I'm sure you said something profound, bro. I just didn't hear. I'm struggling trying to hear you. You know, I'm just catching things and expressing.
"No, we got you, brother." Keith Dion, I just want to put this up here. Keith Dion says the challenges along the way on how you view and interact with such challenges will make things worth it or not being so. I'm going to take that as you agreeing with what we're saying, Keith Dion. You know, Malika said our kids live in our dream until they leave home and go build their own. They then do the same with other kids, their own kids. We lived in our parents' dream. When I say dream, I mean the life you get up for every day and work to maintain it. Any comments on that, guys? Because I think that's a great point that you made. I mean, because you could definitely live that. Because, like I said, when we under our parents' wings, they're teaching us to live a certain way and to think and see things in a certain way.
Yeah, I think they're giving. I think we as parents and our parents, I think they gave us options. But the journey was us trying to figure out what worked best for us.
I think that's how I raised my sons. Our parents gave us options, man, but they also spoke the truth about things too. You know what I mean? On how they see things. If we was going down a certain path and all of that. So that's how I raised my sons, and I'm hoping that they raise my grandchildren the same way. Well, look, you got options, and here's your options, and this is who you are, and this is what you had the potential to be, and this is what I think you should choose. But if you don't choose that, I'm going to support what you're doing as long as you tell me what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to ask. Keith Dion says, isn't wisdom the ability to make situations more simple for ones who don't know how to navigate their own experiences? I think that's definitely part of it, Keith Dion. Definitely part of it. What do you guys think?
I think wisdom is being able to explain the difficulties you've been through, and hopefully the process in which you transcended those situations or whatever. But when I don't think wise words were meant to be hung on. Because I mean, just because it worked for me doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you.
It's a guide. It's a guide. I'm with you, Jaquari. It's a guide. That wise words are guides. Yes.
Yeah, having the wherewithal to be able to explain your situation and where you went wrong,
Hmm.
and like I said, hopefully how you corrected it or how you attempted to correct it. I think that's wisdom there.
Yeah. Damon, what you think?
It's something our father said to me, man, long time ago. He said, man, what a man is that person, man, understands struggle and how to overcome it. You know what I'm saying? You at your best self when you in the fight. Best self when you learn from the fight you were in. You know what I'm saying? It's not to push your ideas and understandings on it because everybody are individuals. We learn from our own stuff. We understand the similar situations that we go through as a collective. But when it comes to that internal thing, what you experience on yourself, it's how you come out of it and persevere. And that's a personal thing. And that's the thing that you teach people around you and your kids. Hey, you know what? Go through some stuff. How are you going to get through it? And sometimes they make mistakes that break your heart. Sometimes they make mistakes where you like, why did you make that mistake? But that's their maturation process. That's their own thing personally. And only them and God understand purpose. See what I'm saying? You had to go through that, son. You had to go through that, daughter. What did you gain from it?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, as your parent, I don't understand. But I do understand this. I understand that my expectations for you is to understand yourself. And what are you going to do with that? With your trials and tribulations and struggles? Are you going to lay down or are you going to fight for yourself? Because that's the thing that people pay most attention to, how you fall short and come back from it. You know what I'm saying? How you come back from it. You know what I'm saying? What avenue did you take? Did it break you? Or did it make you stronger? Did it make you bitter? Or did you come to a conclusion that, you know what, I went through that, but you know what? I got through it. So I know how to persevere. That's an individual thing.
Okay. All right. Well, it was a great discussion today, gentlemen. And really and truly, you gave me a lot to think about. Uh, Chief Dion has one last thing to say. Then after we're done with this, we're gonna get the last word of the day from you guys, and then we're gonna give everybody a break from us. So Keith Dion says, so wisdom comes from the seeker of asking to help get over challenges because unsolicited words goes on deaf ears.
As a parent, man, or somebody responsible for somebody, for another person's well-being. I mean, unsolicited advice is going to be your that's your claim to fame. I mean, that's if I see look, if you're my child and I see you going down a path that I don't think is going to be any good for you, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something at least until you start to resent me for it, because that's what happens. That's what happens. A parent who's always there, to pick the child up, a helicopter parent, no matter how good the intentions or whatever, will experience a certain level of resentment from that child later on in years. I've seen it 1,000 times, man. Seriously.
Yeah. Sometimes unsolicited advice is the best advice you can get, really, because
Man,
it's,
unsolicited
it's
unsolicited advice and a punch in the face come from the same place, bro.
no, man.
Yes,
No,
they
it
do.
depends. Now, look,
And
I
and and
feel,
and,
I understand you feel that.
and you
I
get to
understand you
say
feel that.
and you get the same reaction.
See that, and that's that. But what I'm speaking on is this. Yes, you're absolutely right. But guess what? A lot of times that unsolicited, damn, that advice is going to that person's going back and say, wait a minute, such and such did tell me this. Such and such did say this to me.
Right.
Yeah, he did. He did say that. You
How
know
many
what I mean?
times? How many times? How many scenarios can you think about in your life, Keith, personally, that you may have given somebody the exact blueprint on how to solve a particular problem or whatever, and they didn't do it out of spite. How many times that happened to
I mean, it's happened. See, that's my whole point. See, but see, that's what I'm saying. We there. I'm there with you, right? But also, that kind of advice is rarely wrong unless somebody's trying to be malicious towards you. You know, that's my opinion about it. If they trying to be malicious, they're gonna say some stuff to you to try to get a reaction from you. But if it's somebody who cares about what you are, where you going and where you walking in your life, if they say, hey man, wait a minute, why are you doing this? Why don't you do it this way? Whether you follow the advice or not, right? It is it gives you options. It
you?
gives you options.
We know
So
we know that as a person on the outside looking in, man. But for the person, on the inside, it kind of feels like you're punching down now, because you're probably thinking, so why didn't you tell me these things, when I told you I had the idea? I mean, how was I supposed to know you needed to hear these things,
yeah,
especially if you don't share?
yeah,
And that might be the main reason I give you unsolicited advice. Because if you don't talk to me, how am I supposed to know what you need?
yeah.
So I just end up throwing a whole bunch of shit that I think that's going to be useful to you.
That's my style too, brother. That's my style. And I understand that I might be bombarding you with a bunch of questions and you're not really sure how you stepping, or I might be reinforcing what you're thinking in the first place. But what I'm doing is my relationship with you, I feel as though I should ask you these things.
Look, if you present something to me, man, and you say this, I got a hot idea, and I start, shooting a barrage of questions at you, and you get tripped up and you can't answer those questions, you need to go back to the drawing board, bro.
Yeah,
You need to go back to the drawing board and rethink the whole shit. Solve those problems.
that's it.
Solve those problems. I mean, because that's why I always say, in a strange, skewed way, your haters are your greatest supporters because they ask those questions.
They looking for those cracks.
They,
So
they,
they help you
so
identify those cracks.
exactly. They ask those questions. They ask the
Yeah.
questions that needed to be asked. And if you have any difficulty in providing answers to those questions, you got to rethink your whole shit.
All right, well look, Damon, you have anything to follow up on that?
To be honest, brother, I didn't even really hear none of y'all was saying, man. These last.
All right, Dan. Okay, okay. Just say no. But
Man,
look,
I don't want to look like no fool, man. I'm like, hey,
no,
man, you know the color red, man. People don't like the red, man. I think it's affecting people's mental capacity, bro. And I think that's part of the problem. If you really think about it, people need to stop eating those red M&Ms, man.
yeah,
There you go.
yeah, there it is.
I don't know, bro. I didn't hear.
Okay, last word of the day. What's your last word of the day of the episode? We'll start with you, Damon.
What?
Last word of the episode. We'll start with you.
I think, man. I think that we need to stop thinking outside of ourselves and listen to that inner voice, man. The thing that we try to avoid not paying attention to because it matters. You know what I'm saying? And figure out not to be so defensive, man, towards the world, because really, if you think about it, how much does the world really affect your life? Other than paying bills and shit and the stupid ass president. You know what I'm saying? Everyday life, man, you know how to navigate and deal with it. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta look at it differently. You can't be despondent or angry. You gotta say, you know what? I know this. Then how I conduct myself affects other people. So I have to be cognizant of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Am I really angry about it? Or am I looking for a fight? You know what I'm saying? You have to figure out how to balance the two. I mean, what's the real threat?
I got you. I got you. Ja'Cory, last words, brother.
Hey man, do do the hard do the hardest option first. Don't waste your time with shortcuts or the easy way, because ultimately you're going to have to do the hard shit anyway. Uh, and I've thoroughly enjoyed the conversation this evening, gentlemen. I look forward to the next. And y'all be safe.
Last words for me
I'm with you,
is
bro.
last word for me is this. Understand fans of the show, guys and young ladies giving us advice about things. Like Chat Life, when he left, he gave us advice about putting things in the algorithm and all these different things. Believe me, we're trying to approach all these things, Chat, and we appreciate who you are and what you're doing. And
Definitely, definitely.
we're going to get it.
Thank you,
We're
brother.
going to get it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get it one day, and you're going to see us on the big stage, shining, grinding, profiling. But I want to thank Malika, Keith Dion, Lawrence, Chat Live.
Shout out to the nephew.
Am I missing anybody else? I think I got everybody. But thank you for participating. You had great comments in the comment sections. We appreciate y'all. Go to our YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next Friday. Same bat time, same bat channel. And we're gonna do our thing. Um, this is Strong Perspective Podcast. You ladies and gentlemen, in these times, man, be blessed. Be blessed and love yourselves and love your family. Please. This is Strong Perspective Podcast. Have a great weekend.